golden rules of Vimshothari. We will talk about how to decipher the results of a Dasha using Vimshothari. This will be the objective of today's class. My sincere request is, if you have not watched this class, the class number 106, the English video, which talks about the conjunctions in D1, so as to understand the results of Vimshothari Dasha. If you have not watched it, please go back and watch it. Then only you will follow this. Okay. So today what we will cover is, we will talk about how to understand, how to how to determine who is the Dasha Lord. That is the first thing for Vimshothari. And then we will talk about what exceptions are there for the previous video that I have done. Although I thought I have explained a lot of points, but a few points that went off my mind, which I've included right now. We will talk about it today. We will talk about the Dasha Lord Nakshatra theme, which is very important. We will talk about the Navadurga theme. We will talk about the Amshapada theme and how to check diseases to people quickly. Okay, that we will talk about. Also, we will talk about a few more things. What exalts in the sign of the Dasha Lord, wherever Dasha Lord is placed in D9, what planet exalts there? Okay. Similarly, wherever the Dasha Lord is placed in D9, what planet debilitates there? Okay. And based on that, you have a lot of information or a lot of results that can be deciphered. And we will also talk about the positions from the Navamsha Lagna. Okay. So I'm assuming right now that you have watched the video, last week's video. If you did not, then you will have, it's very difficult for you to understand this class. Okay. But I'm assuming you did. So if you did not, please go back and listen to that class and come here. Right now. So with the video, with the conjunctions in the D1, what we have understood is, if a planet is sitting alone in the D1 chart, the results will come as it is. Okay. So you can straight away take that planet as the Dasha Lord and look at the below rules that I will teach. If the planet is conjunct other planets or involved in an exchange between another planet, that is when the results will change. If there is a parivartana involved or an exchange involved, in that case, the planet that is getting the exchange, you have to look at that planet as the Dasha Lord. Okay. So that is the prime point in that. In case of conjunction of 2 planets, 3 planets, 4 planets, 5 planets, 6 planets, all that I have explained in the conjunctions thing. Okay, if some is left out, also please watch the 107 video, the Kareena Kapoor Khan video. In that also I have explained a lot of things. Okay, you can't jump guns and try to understand. There is no quick thing or quick fix wherein let me hear for 10 minutes and make everything out of it. You can't do that. Okay, especially if you're a beginner. Okay, so there are a few exceptions for this conjunctions or the parivartana thing. In case of nodes, that is the Rahu or the Ketu in the conjunction or the parivartana, many times we are seeing that the Rahu or the Ketu are giving its own phalita depending on the Dasha. I mean, that becomes the Dasha Lord itself. Straight away take that as the Dasha Lord itself. Okay. It also gives the results of the Rashi in which it is placed. That's an advanced concept. Sometime we will touch upon that also. Okay. Next is degrees of the planets. Look at what is the degree of the Lagna. Note it down. Planets that are falling within 1 degree from the Lagna degree, right? And let me just show you an example. I'm just taking any random example. Let's see here. This is 9 degree, right? 9 degrees 16 minutes is the Lagna. So anything from 8 degrees 16 minutes to 10 degrees 16 minutes across any sign in the chart, okay, across any sign in the chart will give you the result as it is. Okay, so 9 degree, so any planet is there in that thing. So you can see 10 degree Mercury is there. When Mercury comes in, it tries to give its own result without getting into the exchange thing. Okay. And then if the planets are on the same nakshatra and pada, okay, now you are forgetting the other two rules on the top. This will overrule it. If they are in the same nakshatra and the same pada, how do we know this? If it is placed in the same rasi in the D1, if it is placed in the same rasi in the D9 also, both D1 and D9 has the same conjunction, most likely the interchange is happening. Okay. Then the results are interchanged in case of whenever planets are in exaltation, debilitation, and own sign, the interchange is definitely going to happen. These are few of the exceptions which I thought which are important for you to consider. The other way of looking at is uh, you also practice another dasha along with the Vimshothari dasha. Just alone Vimshothari dasha is not enough. Always a good astrologer will have at least mastery of 2 or 3 dashas, good knowledge of, beginner knowledge at least of, 10 dashas, at least one has to know, good knowledge. And mastery should be there in at least 2 or 3 dashas, right? So we will get there. Okay, we all will get there. Right. Now, after having read this video and the exceptions, you have come to a fair bit of a conclusion. If let us suppose you have 5 planets conjoined, 6 planets conjoined, there will be a lot of confusion. There will be a lot of turmoil in the mind. Whether am I seeing the right thing or not? You always have to take the help of another dasha and try to see what results can be coming. Then come back here and try to figure out, okay, this the planet looks like is taking part there, so let me take this planet. That's how you have to see. Otherwise, if you have good amount of experience, you know what planet will actually chip in at this time. It takes a little bit of a practice. Look at as many charts as possible that events have already happened. Okay, before doing a prediction, a good thing is you have to collect charts of old people where events have happened and where there is a fair bit of a knowledge of the time, and then try to calibrate it with the events that have happened in the life, especially using the marriage dasha, the Vimshothari for the marriage. It is an infallible rule for Vimshothari. It will definitely work with the variations. Please use that and try to correct the time, then have that in place, and then start seeing this. You will be able to decipher it. It will take a little time for you to get rid of that confusion thing where you have many planets in conjunction. It takes a little bit of time. So the good thing is wherever you have exaltations and debilitations of the planets, please note that the exchange will definitely happen. Okay. Now, if you have found out the Dasha Lord using this principles, all these principles as we have discussed, read the theme of it. Okay. I'm not very sure where I said, but I think in the last class, either in the English class or in the Telugu class, I don't remember. You need not use the dasha of the dasha lord need not be decided for the Vimshothari. Straight away, you take the dasha lord from the software, whatever it shows. Take it is what I must have said either in the Telugu or in the English class. If I did, I am correcting myself. You have to arrive at the dasha lord using the whole system based on the exchanges or the conjunctions happening, and that you are calling it as dasha lord after you have finalized, okay, this is what is acting right now. You come there and then read the nakshatra theme, right? Then read the nakshatra theme, and if you do not know the what you can say, if you do not know the characteristics of that, you always better use the software. Go there and open the nakshatras, or also you can open the YouTube videos, type the name of the nakshatra. Let's suppose you want to see Uttara Bhadra, you type Uttar, then you will know Uttara Bhadra is there, Uttara Shadha is there, Uttara Phalguni is there. You know all these 3 nakshatras. Click on these things, read the whole video first. If you're a beginner, I would say all these 1.5 hours videos, you should know all the significations. There is no shortcut for this. If you know all of these by heart, very good. Now, I also gave the text for these things. Click on the nakshatra, try to understand what are the results coming from the dispositions. Okay. Always use, for example, if you want to see, let's suppose if you want to see what is happening in Saturn Dasha, right? You will get to see Saturn, right? Saturn is in which nakshatra? Saturn is in no conjunction. He's in conjunction with no planet. So just you see Uttarashadha is the nakshatra and try to understand what are the results from the Uttarashadha nakshatra. Okay. So one is you can look at traits of the nakshatra, and second is you can look at the first house thing, and also you will understand a lot of things from the nakshatra, that is from the traits of the nakshatra. You can play the whole video and then understand the whole traits of the nakshatra. All of these things will be acting when the dasha is running. Let us suppose you are looking at sun dasha. Okay, it's not coming here, but just in case you're in this particular example, if you're looking at sun dasha, you will see that sun is dispositing many planets here. Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, Mars, all those planets, right? Sun is dispositing all these planets. So you will know when Sun Dasha comes, Sun in the Aslesha, you will open the Sun Dasha, Aslesha Nakshatra, and then try to understand. See here. Where is Aslesha? Aslesha is here. So you open the Aslesha Nakshatra and try to understand what are those planets. Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Mercury are there. Forget what positions are there. Okay. All those planets are in the Leo. Okay. If somebody is looking at the South Indian chart, the simple thing is all of these planets are in the Leo and Sun is dispositing them into the Lagna. Right. Lagna is in Pushami. So it's in Cancer. Many planets are in Leo. You can see here. You don't need actually the chart. All the planets are in the Leo and Sun is in the Cancer. It's in the Aslesha. So when Sun Dasha comes, the thing is all the dispositions of this will work. So you will see which are the houses being disposited here. You will see that Venus in the Leo for a Cancer Lagna. For a Cancer Lagna, Venus will rule 4th house and 11th house. So you will read what is 4th house. May buy properties and vehicles which are used once. Mother is very influential in natives' life. So this will work. Similarly, you also read what is happening for the 11th house, right? Read 9th and 10th house. Such traits are applicable for elder siblings. You read these two things, right? Similarly, you will read what is Mars doing. Mars is what for Cancer Lagna? Mars is the 5th and the 10th Lord, right? 5th and the 10th Lord for Cancer Lagna. So you read for Cancer Lagna, 5th and the 10th Lord, what does it show, right? You understand that. And then you also will read Jupiter. What is Jupiter for Cancer Lagna? 6th and the 9th Lord. You also read 6th and the 9th Lord for Aslesha. Okay, this is all Aslesha. Why am I reading Aslesha? Because the Dasha is Aslesha. All these planets are getting disposited into Aslesha. This is how you have to read. All those phalitas will come there. Now you're making a boundary, as in the theme of the nakshatra will be a boundary. Any result will have to obey the nakshatra theme. If it is in Aslesha, it will give you Aslesha results only. It cannot give you anything outside it. Okay, you have to understand this particular thing. Now, as you know that, you will move forward and understand what is the Navadurga theme. In the Telugu, I have done the lectures for Navadurga. For English, this man Shubham Alok has given very good understanding of the Navadurgas. Read those all 9 Navadurgas and try to understand what is the contribution of the Navadurga. Okay, is he going up? Is he going down? Okay, 6, 8, 7 are not considered very good positions. Does not mean that the person is not earning money. Okay, if they are in 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8 Durgas, Navadurgas, it does not mean the person is not earning money. Okay, don't go by that. None of the results will talk about money. Okay, Vimshottari Dasha is not talking about money, to be very, very specific. Okay, Vimshottari Dasha is talking about the experience of the body. Okay, because moon, or the experience of the manas. Okay, manas has of manas, money is one of the points, right? When is your manas happy? You can't say. You give everything to manas, manas will still keep asking some or the other thing. It will keep thinking what is not available for me, and it will keep weeping for ordinary people. For those who can win over the manas, manas means the mind, right? There is no correct word for the English word for the manas, so I'm using the same word, the manas. The manas will keep asking. There is nothing that it can satisfy manas. So if you are a general, normal human being, it is the manas will keep asking everything. Even if you are a billionaire, it will keep saying, "Look, I'm not that great billionaire as the guy who is there on the top, like the Elon Musk." Even Elon Musk will say, "Look, I'm not having power as much as this man Trump does." Right? So there is no stopping for people to keep asking. That is what Vimshottari Dasha will basically show you. However, it also shows human experiences. Let us suppose you are a businessman, you win an order in a company, you're trying for an order in a company, and you win the order. How would you feel? What would your manas feel? Oh my God, I have achieved something, right? You will feel happy for it. It's a human experience to feel happy. You're coming, by the way, somebody met with an accident. He's a guy known to you. He's one of your relatives. How would you feel for it? You will feel sad for it, right? It's a human experience. That is what Vimshothari is showing. So whenever you have happiness, sorrow, these are those things, subtle things that the Vimshottari Dasha is showing. You have to be mindful of that, because whenever, usually in the consultations, that's not wrong as well. People will keep asking, "Am I making money or not?" Right? Most of the times, Vimshottari does not show much about the money. It will show. I'm not denying that Vimshottari, using Vimshottari, you cannot see money. I'm not saying that. You can see money, but you have to use the charts of D10, D9, and D1, all three in tandem, to understand what is the kind of money this man is making. Okay. And most importantly than that, you can never quantify the amount of money that you will have, because Vimshottari Dasha is based on the experience of a person. So even if you don't have any money, you can still be happy. So your planets will be very well placed. Planets will be nicely placed in the chart, because you're not making great efforts. You're happy or contented with what you have. You have all the planets in the bad houses, 6, 8, 12, and all that. Why I'm talking about all this is Navadurgas 6, 7, 8. Don't be carried away. Okay. So 6, 7, 8, or third Navadurga, sixth Navadurga, seventh Navadurga, eighth Navadurga. Do not, make your prediction based on one thing, please. Okay. If that is the case, if you want to mathematically apply something, 6, 7, 8, okay, let me remember these numbers. These are bad things, and let me apply this. Had this been possible, our guys would have done, put this into a software about 30, 40 years ago, because computers existed ever since then, and everybody is interested in knowing future, right? They could have sold it in lakhs, right? It did not happen, because it doesn't work like that. It is only a human experience, right? He must have also described, Shubham Olok must have also described, I don't remember right now, but he must have also said that 6, 7, 8 are for certain things, wherein 6 does show the effort, the kind of effort. You have money, but you're putting more effort. Why? You need more money, right? You're putting effort. Sometimes it is good to have 6, 7, 8. 8 people will say it will destroy what you have and bring new one. Let's suppose, I'm just giving you an idea. Somebody is struggling with a bad married life. What does he need? He would say, look, let hell break. Let this existing wife go, and let her go. I need her to go from my life. Then you need such kind of a Navadurga, wherein this girl has to leave you and has to be replenished with the new one, or maybe not with any. Okay. So they will be useful. You're suffering from a disease, right? You want that disease to go off, and you say, no, let not the eighth Durga not come. How would you recover from it? So sometimes these will be useful. Even the seventh is also the same thing. So do not stereotype one thing as a very good, the other one as a very bad. I mean, I'm afraid because a lot of people stereotype a lot of things and look at it from that angle. It will never work, because for a lot of celebrities as well, there will be 6, 8, all those combinations. Navadurgas will be in the 6th house, 8th house, and all that, and they have raised in life. Yes, they will rise in life because they are putting more effort. It's a 6th Navadurga. The guy is pushing himself very hard, so he will be ultimately successful. So use common sense. Let not the common sense be left at the home, and you are looking at the falitas. Okay, please don't do that. All right. So also look at the Amshapada theme. I have explained the names of all the Amshapadas in previous videos. Go to YouTube videos. Keep this in Telugu or English, depending on the language that you're very familiar with. Okay. Type 108, Navamshas of 108. All the Navamshas, I have given the names of all the Navamshas from the Nakshatra Chintamani. Okay. And also given the great description of what is that you will expect from there. Have a fair idea from it. Okay, still the prediction has not come. The prediction will be there here in the nakshatra theme. If you master this, if you know this very well, if you have learned all the nakshatras pretty well, then there is nothing like it. You don't need anything. You don't even need the D9 chart. You don't need the D10 chart. Nothing is required. You just look at the dasha and you understand the theme of it, how chain events are connected, and you look at that thing, everything will look connected and you will get the whole answer. For example, I just went through one chart very recently. So somebody said, my wife left me. Okay, even before the consultation started, he said my wife left me. I was just at the start. I mean, I just said hello, and even before we started, he said my wife left me. So I was on the D1 chart yet. Okay, you will know, because I look at chart very carefully, and I'm not very quick at giving predictions. I'll take about 15-20 minutes, then give a prediction. So even before calibrating, what I have seen is it's an Aries Lagna chart. Okay, and Venus, the 7th lord, is in Purva Shadha in the Dhanas. Okay, 7th lord Venus is in Purva Shadha nakshatra in Dhanas. Right, Dhanas means Sagittarius. Now the disposition went to Revati. Right. So what is Purva Shadha? What is Revati? If you know what is that, what does it mean? You will be quick enough to say what. When did she leave him? What is Revati and what is Purva Shadha in common?
Kids.
Kids. Perfect. So the moment the guy has a kid, she left him and went. But how is Revati connected to kids?
Jaya in the
Come on.
nakshatra.
Ushno Revati Gavaha Parastat Vatsa Avastat. Vatsa is a kid, right? The moment you have kid, there is a problem, right? So you have the framework already in hand, and the Jupiter was also retrograde, and also Rahu was along with it. So I believe the dasha was Rahu's dasha, and even before I looked into the D9 or the dasha, I had a fair amount of understanding. Okay, it must be Rahu dasha, right? Even that way you can decipher results. Okay, now you will say, look, why are you looking at the 7th lord? You said you don't need the 7th lord at all, right? But when the dasha is running, you also check what is the chain showing, right? The lagna is in Ashwini, the Mars is placed in the Swati in the 7th house. So you are seeing a few things and you try to connect each with the other, right? And then you establish a fair understanding of what can happen all through. It will take some time. Okay, I am not a big fan of display of my skills in front of people and earn a praise for it. I am not a fan of it. I don't do it online. Okay, when people take private consultations, they will know when I try to tell them the events, they will know it much better, right? I'm not a big fan of displaying my skills online, right? All right, so let me keep moving, of which, I thought, let me just teach you this today, wherein, if there is a, how can we quickly check using Navamsha and the Dasha, that if anybody is falling sick, it could be the self or the relatives, like the father, the mother, the sister, the wife, right? They could be, people could be doing very well, and suddenly they are falling sick as the dasha changes, right? This is very usual. To get to the game, so what I have done is take the D1 chart. Okay, let us suppose, I don't know, I mean, take any chart. Okay, let me just show this into the South Indian regular, otherwise people would keep crying we don't have the South Indian chart. Okay, for those who have not seen it, I've displayed it here, the South Indian chart. Okay, I'm taking another chart. Okay, so somebody's chart I just saw. So okay, let's take this. Okay, I'm using the same chart that I did in the yesterday's class. Okay, anyway, if you have listened to that class as well, doesn't matter. Okay, D1. Okay, now look at D1, look at what is the lagna, and try to understand what are the lords of self. That means lagna lord. What is the lord of the father, the ninth lord, lord of the mother, the fourth lord. Make a note of all this from the D1 chart, Rashi chart, right? Now go into D9 chart. In this case, have a quick note of the father and the mother, right? Have a quick note of that. Father and the mother both are in the fourth. The fourth and the ninth are ruled by the Mars, right? So quick check will show, wow, you have Mars in the own sign. Wow, you have the ninth lord in the own sign. You have the fourth lord in the own sign. Ketu as well is with, wow, super, both are own signs. Wow, we keep clapping hands for all that stuff. Please don't do that. Doesn't work like that. Had own signs or exaltations had given very good results, then I would not be teaching classes. Okay, there is no need for a class. You just need a good software that can say which is an exaltation and which is not, and just say, wow, this is how it is working. Doesn't work like that. Now, you have looked at Mars is the ninth lord. Okay, I'm showing this from the perspective of the ninth lord. Okay, now you may ask me, why is it not the fourth lord? I'm not explaining that here. It will come eventually. Okay, but that's a bigger task. Now, look at the, or you can see it from here also. Okay, you can see it from the when you have the same lord ruling both the houses. The other way you can look at is from the Navamsha Lagna as well. From here also you can look at it and try to understand whether Mars will dominate the ninth house or the fourth house, and things like that. Okay, based on which it's like a give and take thing. It should be a thumb rule thing. You cannot have hard and fast rules working for it, because Mars is in the 10th house, right? In the Navamsha, Mars more works like a the ninth lord, right? Now you see, go to the D9, okay, and do not forget the exchanges in place in the D9. You see the exchanges. The moon is in exchange with the Mars. Okay, Mars rules the Scorpio, and moon rules the Cancer. Mars and moon are interchanged, right? There is an exchange between these two planets, right? Now come to D1 and see. Let me understand what happened in the Rahu Dasha. Okay, Rahu Dasha, the girl is like 1 year old after the birth of the girl for 1 year. what happened is, look at where Rahu is placed. Rahu is in the Gemini, and now instead of taking father from the Mars, you take father from the Moon. Now count as many houses from the Moon to the Rahu, you will get 8 houses. If you're looking at this chart, it will be 8 houses. If you're looking at this chart, it will be 8 houses like this, right? This is Scorpio, Sagittarius, and you go on like this, you reach Gemini from Scorpio, you get 8 houses. So if the Dasha Lord is placed 8 houses away from the relative, that relative is most likely to fall sick, right? So what does this 8th house signification means is, 8th house shows more often the person is visiting hospitals during the Dasha. So something came in, which could be serious, a long-term disease thing, and he is more often visiting the hospital. That is one thing. Or there are a series of events, not single disease or not single event. Many a times he is visiting hospital for many complications of health. That can be a possibility when it is the 8th house. How do you count it? It has to be counted from the relative to the Dasha Lagna, not the reverse. Okay, you have to be careful while you're counting. The reverse will show something else. Okay, you have to be careful. So always count it from where is this Dasha Lord placed in the 8th house. From where is the Dasha Lord placed in the 8th house? That can bring in problems of health, right? 8th house shows health issues in Navamsha. 8th connections show health issues in Navamsha. You can also use straight away the 8th Lord as well. A lot of people use straight away the 8th Lord and its connection to the Lord. If let us suppose 9th, 8th Lords are together, the father is not keeping very good health, provided the 8th Lord is not a friend of the D1 first Lord. I mean D9's first Lord. Okay, if the 8th Lord is the friend of the like if you take Leo, if the Lagna in the D9 is Leo, Sun and Jupiter are friends, so it doesn't work like that. But otherwise, you can also check whether these 8th and the 9th houses are together, right? 8th, 9th Lords are together. That can work for non-friend Lagnas, right? If you don't know what I said, it means that you need a lot of understanding of astrology. Okay, you have to go back to basics. All right, so placement of 8th I have said. The other thing is placement of 12th, placement from the 12th. In case this Rahu, instead of being placed here in the Gemini, if it is placed in the Lagna, okay, just in case, okay, if it is placed, what happens is, it is in the 12th from the relative, that is the ninth Lord. Ninth Lord is Moon here, because Mars and Moon have exchanged places. From there, I'm trying to count. Right now, you will get to see that the 12th house has the Dasha Lord from the relative. Okay, now you don't use Navamsha Lagna at all. Forget it. For now, it is no more useful. In olden days, people did not have Navamsha Lagna marked in their charts. It is only the D1 Lagna will be there. Navamsha Lagna was not marked. Only in the very recent days, we have Lagnas marked for all of the divisional charts. They will be also useful. I mean, some people are saying we don't need to use Navamsha Lagna at all or Dashamsha Lagna at all. I'm not a fan of it. I would rather use Navamsha Lagna also. I will also use the Shamsa Lagna. From there, actually, I will study the planets because Navamsha Lagna will show the journey of the person. Okay, we will come to it. Okay, we'll come to it. So 12th house shows a simple accident. Suddenly something happened and the person went through, could be let's suppose somebody went in a car, let God forbid it not happen to anyone. Let it not happen to anyone. Somebody went in a car and that car met with an accident and the guy got a little injured. He is rushed to the hospital, a few stitches here and there. probably a fracture, you get that wrapped up. I don't know what you call that. Your leg is wrapped up and you stay for about 20 days and then you are free to go. So you must have had about a 3-week break or something like that. That happens in the 12th house thing. Or these days you visit a hospital, especially in the India, they will say, look, okay, go through the angiogram. Okay, you have got a few blocks. Get operated for the stunt, and they'll put you a stunt and send you on the next day. This is very common right now for 30-year-old, 40-year-old people are getting stunts in their hearts, right? So what happens then? The eighth house thing, the difference is the guy comes back home for the eighth house thing I'm talking. The guy comes back home, he would say, let me not eat this. This is not good for health. Let me not drink that. This is not good for health. Let me keep walking in the morning. That's good for health. A lot of precautionary thing the guy is taking, which is possible in the eighth house thing. For the 12th house thing, not much is there. The guy goes up there, does the whole stuff. The accident happened, he's recovered and he's normal. Everyday life is very normal, right? That way it is. Or even if there are some doctors suggestions, he's not following them very religiously. You can take that also. Okay. Also, please check the other way around, as if you may say that, look, I fell sick, but it did not show up here in the 8th or the 12th. That is why I'm saying this, the final one. The final one is check the placement of the, check the placement of the planet from the Dasha Lagna to the Badhaka. Okay, now the Rahu has to be treated like the Dasha Lagna, and from there, what is the Badhaka? You have to know what Badhakas are. Okay, Badhaka means there are 3 Badhakas depending on the Rashi. Okay, there are Badhakas depending on the Rashi, or rather the Badhaka place or the sign of the Badhaka will depend on the Rashi. So this is Gemini. This is a dual sign. It will be a Badhaka of the opposite sign. The 7th house is a Badhaka for Gemini. Or all the dual signs, you will have Badhaka as the 7th house. So check what is placed in the 7th house. If there is a lord of that, lord of that relative placed here in the 7th house in the dual sign, right? Then you have issues for that particular person, wherein the root cause of the issue is not known. Sometimes, right, you go to the hospital, the doctors are doing the diagnosis, nothing comes up, but this fellow is not recovering. You keep visiting hospitals, or you keep changing doctors, clinics, and then hospitals, and then the labs, nothing shows up. This is all the Badhaka thing. This is for the dual signs is the 7th house. The movable signs is the 11th house. The fixed signs is the 9th house. You can just type in Badhaka houses in the Google. It will also show. Okay. From there, what is the Badhaka? Depending on that, you can understand what is the problem. Okay. This is how you see for the health issues, which is predominantly from the 8th house. I would say 8th house. If you quickly ask me what shows up health troubles, I would say 8th house of the Navamsha, right? So it doesn't mean that it's from the Lagna, okay? It will always mean from the relative to the Dasha Lord. That is how it is connected. So why do you need the Navamsha Lagna at all? Actually, it is not needed. Really speaking, it is not needed. But you have a fair bit of accuracy to time the Dasha. If your Navamsha Lagna is accurate, your Dasha is more or less accurate, right? Because you know where the degree of the Lagna is. Otherwise, you do not know what is the Dasha Lord itself. Because based on these rules, if your Lagna degree is changing, based on the degree, the whole thing is changing, right? So you do not know what Lagna is, what Dasha Lord is operating. So don't think it will be a fixed Dasha for all 24 hours. Right now in the software, it shows like that. But you have to pick up and use the thing for yourself, right? Okay, now I want to go and finish this first so that you understand it much better as an extension of the thing. So we understood eighth house will give you issues of the health. What are the other houses, right? Let's start with the kendras. Okay, before we talk about all the houses, I have told this many a times, I'm repeating this once again. Always look at what is the lord of the sign. It's extremely important. A planet placed in Aries, a planet placed in Cancer, even if it's in the same, the eighth lord placed in the eighth from the Navamsha Lagna, everything will be the same, but the result is entirely different because the Cancer is a Satvika sign and Aries is a Tamasika sign. The Tamasika signs are those that are ruled by Saturn and Mars. Okay, these usually trouble the native. Okay, so what does it mean? Doesn't mean anything about the money. Okay, doesn't mean anything about the money. You have to get this very, very right. If you're thinking, okay, I have a planet here, will this affect the money? Then you're a fool. Okay, sorry for the language, but a lot of people, when I say it affects the person, the moment I say this, okay, there is something lost with the money. No, that's not how it is looked at. Please be careful with these things. In fact, you may earn a lot of money because look at the people who are making more money. They are more sinners, right? Lot of sin you are doing, that is when you get a lot of money. Without doing a big sin, a lot of money is not possible. Or you're getting a big punishment, then also the tamasic rasis are possible. But don't jump and say, oh, all my planets are in tamasic rasis. Does it mean that I'm getting a lot of punishment? I'm not favor of saying anything in general. Okay. However, because I have to teach, I have to start somewhere, right? You have to only understand the basics first. That's why I'm trying to teach you the basic. The Rajasikas are those that are ruled by the Venus and the Mercury, right? Venus and the Mercury. These are trying to give you money. Okay. These are trying to give you money, trying to give you a position, trying to give you Raja. Raja means what? Kingly thing, right? Satvikas are those that are ruled by the sun, the moon, and the Jupiter, right? These can also give you money. These can also give you money. All three can give you money, right? But this can give you sins, or this can give you punishments. These things will not give you punishments, but these can keep you comfortable. This is what Parashara meant. Because in olden days, it used to be only kings. So he has kept kings in mind. But by and large, what Parashara meant is if you're having planets mostly in these signs that are ruled by Sun, Moon, Jupiter, Venus, and Mars, you are a lot more blessed. You have planets in the Saturn or Mars signs, there are some or the other headaches that are going to crop. Okay, what would it take away? What would it keep will depend on the whole horoscope. Okay, especially the Aquarius will cause losses, wherein you lose a person, you lose a contact with a person, you may break a relationship with a person. That can also be possible. You may encounter losses in business. That can also be possible. Your job could be gone. You lose money every month. You're making money and your job is gone, so you're not making enough money, right? That could also be possible from the Saturn and the Martian signs, especially from the Aquarius sign. Doesn't mean that, okay, we have seen last week itself Kareena Kapoor Khan's horoscope. She has got enough money. I would think she's richer than any of us, whoever is listening to this lecture. She's definitely richer than any of us, right? But she has 3 planets in it. But how does it work then? You need to apply everything. Okay, you can't just have a blind rule and let God help me. It doesn't work like that. You have to be patient. Then is look at the kendras. Okay, what are kendras? Kendras are from the Rashi Tulya Navamsha. Okay, first thing is have the Rashi Tulya Navamsha in place. Use the Lagna of the B1. You have planets more in kendras from the Rashi Tulya Navamsha. You are having a lot comfortable life physically. Okay, physically in the sense you don't have to work too much. You have lesser work in place, or you have more money coming in for the less work that you're putting up, right? You could be physically also being affected if your kendras are affected. that means, there is a sexual abuse being faced by someone. Okay, these are special charts, right? Somebody faced a special sexual abuse in a very child age. You look at their charts, they'll have loads of planets in the quadrants because physically they have faced a lot of problems. Or it could be a person who is not physically facing anything, he's enjoying a loads of comforts in his life. So Kendras, to be very specific, if you have a planet in Kendra, in the D1, you have to listen to this carefully, in the D1, in the Rashi Tulya Navamsha, in the D9, all three from the Lagna, right? If it is in a Kendra, that planet is going to make you rich. The more the number of planets you have like that, more is the richness. Next to the Kendras, if some planet is in a Kona, or that means 5 and 9, right? Kendras are 1, 4, 7, 10, right? Those are the Kendras, right? So 1, 4, 7, 10 Kendras, 5 and 9 are Konas. In the D1, you have a planet in the Kona, in the 5 or the 9, it moves into a Kendra in the Rashi Tulya, and again in a Kendra in the Navamsha Chakra from the Lagna of the Navamsha. Then also this can give you the second level of richness. The third level of richness is in the D1, you have it placed in a bad house and then moves into a Kendra in the Rashi Tulya and the Navamsha, right? From the Navamsha Lagna, if you have more planets in the Kendra, that will also give you money, but it is through a lot of struggles, right? You have to use this logic by and large and try to apply it. I cannot give you hard and fast rules wherein you make an algorithm and you pour all the content into that and you get out using a funneling concept. Doesn't work like that. Okay, maybe with the advent of artificial intelligence, it may come up in the future. Right now, I don't think you can generalize this stuff. Right. So you look at the Kendras, the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. These are the Kendras, right? Of which the Moksha Trikona doesn't give you much money. Okay, fourth house doesn't give you much money, right? And the Kama, the Artha, the Dharma. Dharma also gives less. Artha and Kama will give you more money, right? You have to be mindful of these things. So what is Artha? This is the 10th house. And Kama is the 7th house. Moksha is the 4th house. So these are the Kendras, right? So, and then comes the Konas. We've just talked about this. It can give you more followers, fan following. Okay. You can also look at this from the Aries as well. Okay. More the number of planets you have in Leo, Sagittarius, and the Aries, you will have more fans for you. Okay. It will work that way also. 159 are Konas. The Kendra and the Kona, the one works both ways. I think you already know that. The other thing is Kama, the Shatripus, right? The Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, and Matsara. These are the Shadripus. Just give me 1 second, okay? Somebody who's playing huge loud music. Okay. So we have this Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, and Matsara. So Kama is something that you are desiring, right? That means, when you're taking up a consultation and the planet is in the 2nd house, right? The Dasha Lord is in the 2nd house from the relative or from the work, the 10th Lord. 10th Lord is your work. So you will say, look, I'm looking at a project. If that comes right, it will be very good for me. This is what the person will tell you. So he's expecting something has to happen, right? So he's expecting a job or he's expecting a project. It's Kama, right? My Kama means my desire. I am desiring or I'm hopeful, right? I'm looking forward to. All these are desires. Don't think these are bad houses, okay? There's nothing called bad house, good house, nothing is there. All that you're looking at is what is the journey the soul, what is the journey the moon is taking, the manas is taking. That's all. Moon is in Kama now. Moon means the Dasha, right? The Dasha is in Kama now. What is the Kama? Kama is the desire that, look, if this comes right, it will be good for me, right? How do you count it? From there, you have to count till the Dasha Lord, right? That is how we have done in the 8th house thing, right? Then is Krodha. Now look at Krodha. Krodha is the anger thing. Third house, what does third house show? Also, you apply that. Third house shows initiation. Third house shows, you know, what do I say? Third house shows the motivation. Somebody slapped you in front of 10 people and said, look, you're fit for nothing. So the anger comes in you. I'm talking cinematically, okay? You get a lot of anger and say, look, you're nothing. You slapped in front of 10 people. Okay, let me become something and then show it to you, right? The anger thing, krodha. That is the initiation. So the man is full of krodha now, right? He's trying to achieve something. These are very good houses, believe me. All the 12 houses are very good. You cannot say Kendra is good, that is bad, this is good. There's nothing called good, bad. The kind of manasthiti you are in, the kind of status of mind that you are in, the dasha will be working. Okay, that is based on your karma. You're going to have consequences in life, situations in life, and you're going to respond to those situations. And a normal human being will respond it like this, right? If you're insulted, you get krodha, and then from there you are going to develop yourself and achieve heights. What is wrong in it? Nothing wrong, right? Lobha. You are, I'm giving you example, okay? No, it's just not this. Don't limit yourself just for this. Okay, somebody has slapped you, so it means that did somebody slap you is what. If you're asking in a consultation, the guy is going to slap you back. Why would somebody slap me, right? I mean, use some common sense. So I gave you an example. You have to expand that example to hundreds of things, okay? Then is lobha. Lobha means not spending enough. When would you not spend enough? Let us suppose you have a kid. He is going into the college after 6 years or 7 years. You would call your wife and say, look, let us save some money. Let's not spend as if we were spending 1 year ago. Why? She would ask you why. You would say, look, in the next 6 years, the guy is going to go to the college. We need so many rupees or so many dollars. We have to put them in the bank. That is when he'll go to the college, right? So that is lobha. So this man is trying to save more money. What is wrong in it? Nothing wrong. Why do we take sixth house as wrong? There's nothing called wrong here. The Navamsha sixth house is very good. The person is trying to save money or trying to be a little more stingy, which is not wrong. The sixth lord is going to help you be like that, because unless you save, how would you spend it on your children? You can't be begging on the roads, right? How would you do that? Next is moha. Moha is not able to leave something. Moha means that. The real word translation is not able to leave something. That is why it is called unwise. If a disease comes, the disease is not leaving you, right? Or moha is another thing wherein you wanted something in life and you cannot get rid of that thought. You want to pursue it till it is achieved. That is the 8th house. So it's a good thing. Why take it in the wrong stance? Have a positive outlook for it. It will look very positive for you. So the person is trying to achieve something which is very unachievable by people, right? He could be a very rich person as well, because he's trying to achieve a big task, Herculean task. He's a big guy. He has big goals in life, right? That's why sometimes you have the 7th lord in the 8th house and everything else is good. And if the 7th lord and the 8th lord are friends, it usually shows somebody who is trying to, I mean, the husband is trying to achieve, or the spouse is trying to achieve something big in life, right? Right? So that's why I keep saying, don't reject based on namby-pamby things. Okay, you may still find the horoscope very nice, but in reality, it is not. Okay, don't go by exaltations and all that nonsense stuff. Doesn't work. Madha, right? or mother, rather it is mother. It should be M-A-D-A, not the M-A-D-H-A, M-A-D-A, mother. Mother means the pride, right? Let's suppose you're an achiever, okay? You have achieved something in your life. Let's suppose, I'm giving you a hypothetical example. Uh, you're a kid, somebody challenged you, you're a poor man, your father is a poor man, you're a kid, you could not afford something. I'm just trying to be cinematic here, okay? These are all real life situations I encountered from people. So you're a poor man, your father was not much, you went on to do your work since you're a kid, and you achieved a lot. There are many ways in which in India, if you are, it will be shown in the old Hindi movies or the whole Indian movies, wherein you're delivering newspapers, you're supplying milk to the people, you're doing a delivery boy job, etc., etc., etc. You study, you fund your education. Your father is a poor man, or maybe he's dead. So by the time you complete your college education, you stood first in the class, etc., you got a job. 10 years down the line, you'd be very proud of yourself, right? Which is not a wrong thing. Why would one be proud? He's proud because he has achieved something in life. Why are we not looking at it on that angle? He has a lot of achievements in his life, so the man is very proud of himself. And he is skillful as well. Okay, 11th house shows skill set as well. So you cannot be just like that, proud for nothing. If you know you're nothing, you can never be proud, right? That's why these are called as bad things, right? You know why? Because if you're proud, you can't learn more, right? That's the usual thing. You have karma, you can't leave it, right? These are all, that's why they are called as, in generic terms, they're called as bad things. But unless you desire something, how will you achieve it? You're not a saint, right? You're not going to take, why are you reading astrology? Just to understand, am I going to be rich or not? If there is someone else wherein, oh no, I want to lose all my money, that's why I'm reading astrology, then I really welcome him. Please let me know if there is someone such kind in the class. I want to lose everything in my life and become a monk, and that's why I'm reading astrology. I'll be very happy. I want. I'm not very happy. I'll be very surprised rather. Right? Nobody wants to do that. Right? So the Shad Ripus will be there. They are not actually Ripus. They are actually those things that are guarding you, I would say. Matsarya, the envy thing. A person in the class has stopped and you are envious of him. I should stand top in the class the next time. This is a good thing to be envy, right? So that is what the 12th house shows. 12th house also shows that thing which I have just told you, the sudden happenings around you, right? So by and large, these are what the dashas or the placements will do. But be careful, because you don't know. It will basically depend on from where the dasha lord is in. Okay, right? From where the dasha lord is in, or rather from which house is the dasha lord being like this, either in the second, eighth, or all that stuff, right? Use the example that I have shown. It will be very, very confusing in the very, very first stage. So these things can be used from the Lagna also, straight away from the Lagna also. From the Lagna, if it's in the sixth house, it could be a miser thing, it will show. From the Lagna, it could be a second house. It will show for the person himself, from the Navamsha Lagna, for the person himself. Okay, you cannot see anybody else if you're looking at Navamsha Lagna. Don't try to see, okay, from the third house, will it be for the brother? No. In the Navamsha, it will not work like that. Your third house in Navamsha is not your brother. To be very, very clear. Okay, because in the Navamsha, there are only 4 houses. The real houses are only 4, 1, 4, 7, and 10. The third house maps into the 7th house. 11th house maps into the 7th house. There are only 4 kendras in the Navamsha. All other houses are hidden houses. They're not displayed outside. Okay, so be careful when you're using them. But I use them like, the 9th house, I use it for father. The 4th house, I use it for mother. The 3rd house, I use it for brother. But you have to be very careful when you're using them. You have to use it from the Rashi Tulya Navamsha first, and then cross check it from the Navamsha if you're trying to say or check, do something, because Rashi Tulya Navamsha is absolutely important for the Navamsha. Without using it, you're using it very blindly from the Navamsha Lagna, nothing will work. Everything will fail. Okay. Well, good. So coming back to the example that we have talked about, the father had a big issues of health. You can also see the kind of effect, okay, that the person can have, especially if it is in a quadrant. Okay, if the dasha lord is in a quadrant, then it will physically affect the person. If it is not in a quadrant from the Navamsha Lagna, physically it is not going to affect much of the person, or none of his habits will be affected. Okay. In this case, for an example, the Rahu was in the 8th house from the ninth lord after considering the exchange, right? Now, Rahu is in the 9th house. Had it been in the 10th house, what happens? With the same setup, let us suppose moon is here in the next house and Rahu went into the next house, it will be in the 10th house. What happens is it will affect the person more. The father fell sick. The family moved to some other place. There was a downfall of the father. Nothing worked for him. He went on falling sick every time, and all this dasha was very bad. And the end of the dasha, the father expired. Okay, so I mean, if you see from the D1, if you see, wow, the girl has ninth lord, own sign, okay, along with Ketu, what wrong? Even Ketu is in own sign. Oh, let me clap for her. Nothing will work like that. Okay, so if you want to decipher results without looking at the dasha, you cannot. First thing is, without dasha, it will not work. Always have dasha in mind. Now, look at the dasha. The dasha is Rohini, right? What is Rohini all about? Rohini is about the father, right? Who is Rohini? Rohini is the Prajapati. Who he had issue with? He had issue with his uh, girl, right? Sati Devi, right? Sati Devi is the daughter of the Daksha Prajapati. He also had issue with Shiva, right? You should know all this story. There is no way that you can escape or say, let me use a shortcut. No way, no shortcuts are available in astrology. You need to put good amount of hard work. Okay, or you will have to say all lies to the clients, and then one day you will be caught and you will be nothing. Okay. So, I mean, sorry if I'm a pretty straightforward man. I cannot talk lies or praise. That's not my business ever. Okay. So be careful. You read all the significations of Rohini. You will get to know the moment you see Rohini, it is going to affect the elders, right? What does it mean? It is going to affect the elders, could be health. Their health could be a problem. The relationship with this girl and the elder could be a problem. The elder may die, right? Now you all will rock back into your kids' chats and get to see, oh, when is this Rohini coming? When am I dying? If this is the way you're working, the Yogamaya is going to kick in, and all of the things that you will learn, it will be lost very soon. Okay, please don't do this stuff. If you're looking at it in your charts, it will not work because I have just told you. Okay, it will manifest very differently because Rohini will have at least 100 significations that I have given in the video. Otherwise, 1.5 hour video without repeating anything cannot come. At least 1 hour, there will be solid thing I must have explained. Maybe I must have repeated a few things that are very essential for the class. But for sure, 1.5 hour, you will definitely have all the significations. Now, please don't do such stuff where you open your kids' charts and try to check when am I going to die. It is going to, all your astrology knowledge will be lost if you're doing that. Or if you're trying to trying to check your spouse's thing, all your knowledge will be lost. It will be of no use. Okay, please don't do that. Now let me show you okay, any questions that you have from this chart before I go from this place? Okay, I mean, let's stick only to Rahu dasha. I mean, let's not ponder upon other dashas. Okay, let's look at what we can look at from Rahu dasha. wherein the father lost the job. He did not have the job in place. He had to leave good job. He couldn't find anything, could not rebuild his career at all, and ultimately fell sick. Had lot of issues from the physical strength, because it's the Mars and the Moon, right? Both are in debilitation. This is where you have to use debilitations. Okay, you can use in the Navamsha. Who is going weaker? In the Navamsha, they will work. The person is going weaker, the person is going difficult times, etc. Right? So these things can be understood from the Navamsha. Rajesh?
About that point, like the fact that Mars and Moons are debilitated as is based on their places, but there is an exchange. So
Yeah.
would that not mean that they are in their swakshetras essentially because of the exchange?
No. It won't be.
Okay.
Yeah. It would work as if, yes, that I have also taken the exchange, right? I have taken the exchange and I have placed Mars here, but from there, the Dasha Lord is in the 8th house.
Okay, so we take the exchange to read the relative placements, but their original debilitations and exaltations are as is.
Yes. If the planet is in debilitation, its Lord is also in debilitation. It is more challenging.
Got it.
But is it for the native or not? It is not for the native here. The native is unaffected. You have to be very clear on this.
Got it.
Let me explain this to you once again, whoever is listening to this. All through the life of this girl, she had a very comfortable life. She never had any problem in life. You know why? No, I just now said the father lost the job, never recovered from any, because it didn't affect her. She had a brother who is to take care of everything. Only the father was suffering, and due to that, the brother could be suffering because he is trying to take the load of the father. Right? Do you get that, Rajesh?
Yes, yeah.
So even if you have debilitated planets, are they really going to affect you? Is a very different thing. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
In
It could be
this case,
affecting your
Rahu is not.
competition. Okay. It could be affecting your competition. Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah, in this case, it's not affecting the person directly because Dasha Lord Rahu is not in the Kendras.
No. The planets are not in the one is Dasha Lord is not in the Kendra. That did not affect the girl. The planets are also not in the Kendra. I mean, you can say the Mars is in the Kendra in the 10th house, but that actually can bring in more money. We will come there someday, but it is not affecting the person. If it is there with the first house, physically it will be more affected to that person.
Oh, got it. Okay.
If it's in the Lagna, if it's in the Tula, if it's happening in the Libra sign, it is affecting personally this person more. Do you get that?
Yes.
There can be children of fathers who were like, if the father is not well, then the children takes up that responsibility. It will show up in the Lagna of them.
Got it.
Okay. In the 10th house, etc., it will show usually money, right? Or the girl was aspiring for more money because the peer group will be buying a lot of stuff, and this girl is devoid of money, so she may not be in a position to buy a lot of things, because 10th house shows the second, 6th, and 10th trine, right? So she must be aspiring, let me also buy a few clothes like the other peer group is doing. She's not having that freedom, because it's the father, the 4th and the 9th, both the mother and the father are actually going through a bad phase, right? Because the ill health of father, the mother was rushing him through the hospitals, right, from Delhi to Bangalore, right? I mean, this is early 80s or mid 80s. So it is not the same world that we see today. If you have to travel from Bangalore to, Hyderabad, or Bangalore to Delhi, it's a huge thing, right? So it's not the same world. So as I say, if it gets into the Lagna, the person is being affected. Okay. In this context, because we've brought this up, it did affect the child. I mean, this lady or this girl is affected, but her money is affected. It is not physically this girl is taking up the challenge or trying to compensate for what the dad could not do. Okay. Let me show up this chart which I did in the Telugu class. The actors, the Chiranjeevi. Okay. Look at this man. Chiranjeevi is an actor in Telugu. Okay. Look at this Dasha of the Jupiter. Okay. When this Jupiter Dasha came, everybody will say it's an exaltation. That is why this man has become a big guy. If this has to be said, right, you are not needed as an astrologer. Okay. You are unfit as an astrologer. I'll show you 10 more charts where the Jupiter Dasha came. Jupiter is an exaltation and everything was brought down. Everything is collapsed. The guy lost everything in life. Even that can happen. Okay. So don't conclude it like this. If somebody shows that, oh, see, Jupiter and Saturn Dashas came, Jupiter is an exaltation, Saturn is an exaltation, that's why he became a megastar. If this is the kind of conclusion you are getting from as an astrologer, you are unfit as an astrologer. Okay? It is not that. Now I'll show you the Navamsha. See the Navamsha. Navamsha, the Saturn is debilitated, the Jupiter is debilitated. Okay. Saturn is debilitated, Jupiter is debilitated. We'll see. I'll talk only about the Jupiter Dasha. I do not want to talk about the Saturn Dasha for you decipher it for yourself. Okay. I will not talk about it. Maybe I'll talk in the private if somebody asks me. Well, I will not explain it even in the private. Sorry. Otherwise, people are sending me unnecessary messages all through the week. They write like 100 lines and say, sir, will this work? I mean, I'm teaching you the biggest concept. People are only focused on their horoscopes. That's all. Sorry if this affects people or if this makes people feel bad, but I have to say this. Okay. Look at this horoscope. Look at the lordship of the Jupiter. Okay. What is the lordship of the Jupiter? The Jupiter is the third and the sixth lord, right? Everybody will agree with me from the D1, right? It's in Aslesha, right? What does Aslesha mean? Aslesha is being brought up by the mother, right? Or extremely focused on career is going like a curve, right? Career is not very straightforward. Aslesha is like a snake, right? Sarpanam, Aslesha.
Dancing is
A performer.
dancer.
Dancer, yes. Aslesha is a dancer, right? This person can be a dancer. So Chiranjeevi came all through only because of his dance, right? And the way he portrays himself. Now, third and sixth lord in the D1 gets debilitated in the D9. Now, this Dasha comes, it's in the Lagna. I have actually corrected his time of birth. A lot of people take him as Sagittarius Lagna, which is wrong. Okay. If it is Sagittarius Lagna, it will not happen like this. I'm going to explain it to you right now. What happened? When he chipped in into the industry of Telugu film, there were stalwarts like the Nageshwar Rao, N.T. Rama Rao. They were not retired. They were still working and they were at the peaks of their life. They were getting the best collections. Okay. And the kids of Nageshwar Rao, the N.T. Rama Rao and Nageshwar Rao, they were just creeping in. And there were other alternate heroes like the Shobhan Babu, Krishna. Krishna is the father of this man, Mahesh Babu, who's also a star now, right? So all these people have come in, and South India is, you must have seen, the movie fans are like, like the forts. You will have a permanent fan base for them. No matter what happens, they will not leave these people and, they will not come out. It's such a place. This man, Chiranjeevi, had made his ground and he evolved. By the time he reached like 1990, he became the biggest star and he had no background for himself. How can we define that as the third and the sixth lord is exalted in the D1. Okay. That means the competition that Chiranjeevi is fighting is the biggest. because sixth lord is the competition, third lord, sixth lord is the challengers, right? Somebody is being challenged only by the third and the sixth lord. Venusian Lagna is challenged always by the Jupiter. Jupiter says, look, I'm bigger. I've got such big, huge body. Venus, you're nothing. Venus will say, look, I'm hotter. I'm hotter. Venus has the highest temperature than any other planet after the sun. Jupiter, you're cool. You're far off. I take all the heat from the sun. I radiate a lot. Mercury is not in the Goldilocks because of me. Because I'm so small planet, but I have caught hold of Mercury. It's not in the Goldilocks zone. I mean, you can talk pages, right? Now, the competition is so huge because the competition is exalted. It means they are already stalwarts. He's fighting with them. So by the dasha was happening, it is in the lagna of the thing. So Chiranjeevi was directly affected and all the competition got debilitated. All the competition went off and Chiranjeevi got the position. If this Jupiter is not in the lagna, Chiranjeevi will only be a spectator. He is not capitalizing on that event. He could be one of those upcoming heroes. I mean, a lot of people came in that time. There were at least 10, 15 people who came in, who got off the screen in few years or maybe 5 years, 6 years span of time. A lot of people vanished. They never came back. Chiranjeevi could capitalize because the Jupiter is in the lagna of the Navamsha. Also, one more thing, look at it from the Rashi Tulya Navamsha. It will also be in the 4th house. Where is the Rashi Tulya? This is the 7th. The lagna is in the Tula or the Libra, right? So from here, from the Tula, if you see, you count 4 houses, it is in the 4th house. It is again in a Kendra. So this guy is going to make more money, right? D1 in a Kendra, 10th house. D9, Rashi Tulya Navamsha in a Kendra, 4th house. Again in the 1st house. So this thing will make a lot of money for him, right? Same will be the case with Saturn, but there are a few setbacks and things like that here. You have to decide for yourself because it's the 7th Navamsha. Okay, in case of both the things, if you see, the Navamsha is the 7th Navamsha or the Navadurga is the 7th Navadurga, wherein you will think that this is Kalaratri and it is going to give you bad things. Not necessarily. We've talked about this even the last time also. If you are a celebrity, Kalaratri Navamsha is going to give you a big change in life. Everything will change for you. Okay. I think, okay, Dasha Lord theme, and I'll take another couple of minutes. I think I have explained this before also. Now, let's get ready with the Navamsha. The other concepts I'm trying to explain it to you. Pick the Navamsha, see which Rashi is the Dasha Lord placed in. Okay, for example, if you take this, Rashi is placed in where? It is in a Saturnine sign, right? Look at the other Saturnine sign also. Which is the other Saturnine sign? It is the next house, right? The Aquarius is the Saturnine sign. These two are the houses that you have to look at. These are called as N1 and N2. Okay, that is what I try to tell you. In case of Cancer and Leo, take them as N1 and N2. Okay. Now, Dasha Lord theme can be understood from various standpoints. You can count it from the D1 Lagna. Okay, D1 Lagna. You count it from D1 Lagna and see from where this planet is going to which place. It is going into 7th and the 8th places, right? So 7th is movie, 7th is the performance, 8th is transformation in performance. He brought many changes in movie making, right? He introduced break dance and kind of different kind of dances which the audience loved, and the karate fights, etc., were introduced by him, right? So he brought a lot of changes in the movie making. You can say a lot of things for the 7th and the 8th houses. I don't want to go personals, etc., because we don't know what happened. I don't want to comment on such things. It can be a bad thing as well. 7th is spouse and 8th house is death of spouse. Even that can happen. Okay. So that's why whenever there is a Saturn 9 placement is there, it brings in a lot of effort, because Saturn demands huge effort. And whoever is not able to do that effort, then he's going to perish. Right? He's going to perish in sense, not death. Okay. Don't think it as death. Anybody who is, losing the bet. Okay. So you can look at it from different standpoints. One is from the Dasha Lord. The other one is you can see it from the D1 Lagna. Also, you can look at which houses is it affecting. From where the D1 Lagna Lord, to see how is it is affecting the person. Okay. Wherever D1 Lagna Lord is placed, from there what signs is it taking, you can look at it. In the Navamsha also you can look at it. All those things can be done. You can also check what exalts in the sign where the Dasha Lord is placed in the D9. Okay. In this case, what planet exalts here in the Capricorn? It's the Mars, right? Now you can check from the Lagna, from the D1's Lagna, and try to understand what is increasing. From the D1 Lagna, the 7th and the 2nd houses are increasing. What is 7th house? 7th house is the performance that he is doing. What is 2nd house? It is the money. His money is increasing, his performance is increasing. This is one way of looking at it.
Why
His-
second house, sir? Seventh house is because Mars is placed there. Then why second house?
Where are you? What is the D1 Lagna?
Oh, okay. I thought it's Scorpio. Sorry,
Come
sir.
on. You can't be leaving D1 Lagna. Okay. It is from the D1 Lagna. First thing is, how does it affect the person? Look at it from the D1 Lagna. Okay. And then look at it from the Dasha Lagna also. This is the Dasha Lagna, the Cancer, from where you are reckoning it as a Lagna. You can use this as a Lagna. You can also use where your Dasha, the first Lord is placed. The first Lord first Lord means D1. Always first Lord means D1. Navamsha, don't consider lordships. Okay. First Lord, if you're looking at Navamsha and says the first Lord, that means it is the D1's Lord. 9th Lord, D1's Lord. Unless specifically said Navamsha's first Lord, 99.99% I will never use Navamsha's first Lord. Unless I'm looking at a marriage. How is the marriage? Then I will see the Navamsha's first Lord. Okay. Otherwise, I'll not see. Okay. Now, the Venus. From the Venus, how is it placed? It is placed in a Kendra. So this can bring in an upliftment, right? 1, 4, 7, 10 will bring in upliftment. From where is it in the 8th house? Okay. From where is it in the 6th house? From where is it in a bad house? Those houses will be affected. Right? You get that? Okay. More or less, this is it. Now you can ask questions. I know you'll have questions.